You're watching Your View.
Thank you for joining us. This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner.
Hey, great friends, on a Monday afternoon, it's Kaplan and Crew along with Grande and the Brown Man. I can tell you this right now. Got a lot to get to today, including this incredible fishing trip that I went on this past weekend with great friends. And you guys who were on this boat, I know there were only a few of us, like 10 of us or so. But for the rest of you, I'm shocked when I put social media pictures out there about fishing trips, how many people either have or want to go fishing. And I got to say, I've lived in San Diego for 20 years, and I've never done what I did this past weekend. So I'll get there. I will also get to Grande's wedding in my backyard. Is it going down or is it not? Because after the Suns beat the Lakers this past weekend, I realized it was only game one. I'm feeling like I could be on the losing end of this wager where I'm going to pay for the Taco Man because the Lakers are going to lose rather than Bill Hagan paying for the Taco Man because his Suns could possibly win. So I got a lot to get to as the afternoon goes on. But let me start off with this as we welcome you back inside the 7 Mile Casino Studios. Friday night, I was down at Petco Park, my first Padre game of the year. And Grande, I saw you yesterday at the Padre game. And the reason I saw you was your social media posts. But when I saw your social media sitting down the first base line and showing the video of where you were.
Yeah.
When I was watching, I could, as the camera flipped in the background down the first base line, if you were careful and you were looking, I like to look at the crowd. I think there may have been a Grande sighting out there in the crowd.
Like, where's Waldo?
Right. Browner, can you find Grande in the crowd here in this picture? Now I'm really looking for him. Now he's got
Yeah,
me.
I can see him. Yeah,
I'm
see
like
him right there.
Like the
He's wearing
biggest
a
dude
black
on screen.
He's wearing a black shirt. He's next to a guy in a white shirt with a hat, and the shadows like way over his face.
Yeah.
I had him.
Correct.
I had him. I can't find him now. I'm looking at the picture, and now I can't. Oh, there he is.
Middle
There's
screen, top of the section.
Yeah. If you look down at the player's name, Jose, look straight up from the J, and you see that guy in that black T-shirt right up there at the top of the screen.
That's
There's
me.
Grande. There he is. Look at him.
Me.
Look at him.
You know how like people record moments and stuff. I just sat down from getting a beer and I was recording Tatis's at bat.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't gonna like try and record the whole at bat. I was just gonna be like, oh, I'm at the game. Here's for my Instagram story. As I let go of the record button and put my phone and I'm about to hit send, boom, first home run of the game. I missed it by like a second. So I actually got him like rounding first because I just deleted that one and went back. It was a great time, dude. The crowd is fantastic. I know. Hot take.
Yep.
I love the capacity limit at Petco.
I know.
It's better, man.
No lines anywhere. It is fantastic.
I know. So Friday night, I went to my first Padre game of the year, and I texted my man Peter Seidler. I'm on my way down. Let me come by and give you a big hug in the owner's suite. And he's like, "Hey, listen, great. I'm looking for a hug." But it turns out he had spent his Friday night with La Familia. So Peter's sending a shout out. What I observed Friday night at my first Padre game, because everybody said to me, well, do you have to get your temperature taken? Do you have to present your vaccination card? Do you have to, prove anything that you have a negative test? And I don't know if everybody else had the same experience. I walked right through the front gate and just showed my ticket on my phone. Nobody took my temperature. Nobody asked for any vaccination. Nobody asked for a negative test. I mean, it was business as usual. And for me, my observations were, yeah, the hallways of Petco Park were crowded, but not to where it was uncomfortable or you couldn't move or you had to stand in line. And I'll give you another observation. For all that we'll talk today about what happened to the PGA Championship and the crowd there and no fear of COVID hangover and nobody wearing masks. I don't know about your observations, Alex, but inside Petco Park, and I say inside, I mean, it's really an outdoor experience, Nobody was wearing a mask. I'm talking
walking
like
around.
Incredibly low percentage of people wearing a mask, even
Right.
walking around.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I kind of saw masks walking around. I saw a few yesterday at least. Sitting down, mask off. Like
That's interesting because the last game I went to, if you were not wearing your mask in your seat, the usher would come down to you and say, hey, you need to put a mask on if you're not eating or drinking. And the guy was repeatedly doing that to people. So that's interesting.
Well, I think that just again, observationally, this past weekend, I watched, for example, like the Suns Lakers game. Seemed like a lot of people there. I think I heard like 11,000 in Phoenix.
But
I watched the Knicks and the Hawks
that
yesterday.
looked bananas.
I mean, Madison Square Garden looked like it was like, again, it was over, and this is New York City, which was at one point kind of ground zero for all of this.
Sixers Wizards, same thing. Tons of people visually on television. It looks like every seat is filled.
Yeah. So between the Padres games and the PGA Championship and what we're talking about with NBA games on television, I mean, it just kind of looks like the world of COVID is, and I don't mean over because people are still getting it, but I mean, in terms of our lifestyle, people are out and about again and back to sporting events. I mean, it's hard to believe, isn't it, guys? I mean, like if you just take a quick breath here to have this conversation, that in March of last year, the world was shut down and the number of cancellations, baseball season becomes 60 games, no NCAA basketball tournament, college football gets delayed. NFL finds a way to power through, although had to deal with it. The NBA had to bubble itself, blah, blah, blah. All of these things happen. And for the longest time, there was no sports because everything was shut down.
Right.
And now to see how the world is coming back is fascinating. And it's actually super interesting from a Padre perspective because you think about it. The Padres had those guys out. They had Tatis out. They had Hosmer, Profar, Myers. They had all these guys missing games because of Tatis comes back. I just can't believe what I'm watching out of this guy. To have a guy be, how old is he? 21, 22, something like that? To be this young, to be away from the game for 10 days, and then to come back and perform like this. Here's his last 4 games. Take us through it, Alex.
11 for 14, 4 home runs, 12 RBIs, and 27 total bases.
Browner, I gotta say,
and the proud new owner of a great chain.
Yeah, he is. Look at that chain. Take a look at that. In fact, can we just show everybody, like, Manny Machado apparently, as the story goes, decided to buy this chain. If I had to take a guess, and I haven't, maybe there's details on this story, but you know how the University of Miami football team created, at least I give them credit, the turnover chain. So a guy gets an interception, runs over to the sideline, they put a chain on him. And now you watch college football games.
Terrible.
And sometimes guys got a championship belt for a turnover. Sometimes guys come off the field with the ball. They got the turnover. They slam dunk the ball. I mean, everybody's got kind of a turnover thing now. I don't know if Manny Machado was watching the University of Miami or whatever.
That's exactly what happened.
Did he mention that? Has he talked about that?
So there's someone wrote a piece on the UT, and what happened was the same guy that designed the turnover chain for Miami actually has done stuff for Machado and his wife before, some jewelry. So in the off season, they discussed this like idea. The jeweler came up to Machado with the idea. Said, "What if we do something like this for the Padres?" So Machado and him designed it together, and then it took till now to get it because he was making it. So it is the same guy that made the turnover chain in Miami made this swag chain for the Padres.
I was just putting 2 and 2 together, him being from Miami, maybe him being a Canes fan. I didn't realize, and maybe Annie Heilbrunn wrote about that because I saw a few of her tweets over the weekend where she was talking about this chain. But
she interviewed when she was the one interviewing Nola on the field when it debuted.
First happened, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Can we see that? Do we have that? All right, let's take
Anointed with the SD chain.
But I didn't hit a homer.
Manny Machado. Oh, twirl that. Okay, you got to give this the backstory, Austin. What's this about?
It's the first time I've seen it. I think it's supposed to hit a home run.
That is really cool, man. See, this is what baseball needs, man. Baseball needs swag. Baseball needs fun and excitement and electricity. Did you see yesterday when Tatis hit his grand slam? As he's rounding third, he does that little dance move, or there was another play earlier in the weekend where he slid home, but while he was sliding, he got up and gave this little kick. I mean, the guy is incredible. I can't believe it.
You said it perfectly. Baseball needs more fun. It needs more fun. This team epitomizes what the future of baseball should look like. Now, everybody may not have a Tatis, but they all have guys in their own way who can have a good time and enjoy themselves on the field. This chain is brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. Now, you also got to be prepared for the mockery when it doesn't go well. But when you're doing what they're doing, you have full right to have fun, wear chains, dance on your way to third. And when you balling like Tatis balling right now, do whatever you want, bro. You can take your shoes off at third off. I care.
Dude, I cannot wait until the Padres play the Dodgers again and they bust this out. Dave Roberts' head's going to explode, my friend. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That is not the way you celebrate in baseball. I tell you that much.
Oh, my God. Not after the sword. Not after the sword Trevor Bauer is putting back in the holster.
No. This is the sanctity of the game. By the way, did you see this bat flip too?
Oh, dude.
Just glorious.
Just goodbye, bat. And then
yeah.
I'm just going to take my time, get around. Oh, and then give me this. Give it to me on the field.
Give me that chain.
Give me the chain. Yeah. Dude, I'm telling you, this is fun. Watching the Padres right now. And here again, I've been talking about this all season long. What is everybody else doing in the division? This past weekend was a big weekend because while the Padres were sweeping a bad Seattle team, the Dodgers were in San Francisco. And remember, going into the weekend on Friday, the Giants were in first place. Well, the Dodgers have gotten their stuff back. And even with their injuries that they're dealing with, the Dodgers have gotten a lot back here. It all started with Seattle as well.
They just swept the Giants too.
And they swept the Giants. So the weekend started with the Giants in first, the Padres in second, the Dodgers in third, but things shifted over the weekend. The Padres are 30-17, best record in baseball. Dodgers a game back at 29-18, Giants 28-19. So, I mean, all three locked up, but the Dodgers with their injuries going to San Francisco and sweeping the Giants and the Padres sweeping through Seattle. It's just the pressure's on the way I see it. I know we're only, 47 games into the season. Is that the number we just put up, or is it 37? Maybe I missed the 37, 38.
37.
Yeah.
37.
I mean, it's when we say it's early. Yeah. Okay. It's early, but still, I mean, it's on. It is on between these two teams.
The scoreboard watching, listen, just because the Giants were in first place for a little while, the scoreboard watching is the way that we have to do this all year. I mean, it's just going to be, it is the battle for first place because the last thing you want to do is win 90 X amount of games and then play one in the wild card. That is the last thing you want to do. So I think, Scott, when you were like, I'm going to scoreboard watch our year, I think we all have to. That's just the way it's going to be. I do think now maybe the Giants come back down to earth a little bit. I don't think they're the third best team in baseball. The Dodgers, though, they will be there all year. They're doing this with all these injuries. When they get healthy, if they get healthy, that could be a very scary looking team.
Yeah. Hey, I want to talk about one other thing related to the Padres. And then I want to start transitioning over to Phil Mickelson. I want to get to the Lakers. I want to get to some other stories. Before I do, let me have 1 minute to just tell everybody about Corky's Pest Control, 1-800-901-1102. Corky is the guy in the pest control business in Southern California. And you say, well, what do you mean by the guy? Here's what I mean. When pest control technicians get into this industry, they take classes. They have to pass tests, and they have to read textbooks to understand what they're being tested on, to understand everything they need to know to be a technician. Well, the guy who writes the textbooks, that's Corky Miser. So when I say to you that he's the best in the biz, it's all the other people in the industry that learn about the industry and learn about the insects and learn about the ways to handle things in the world of pest control that I'm not an expert in. They learn from Corky. I mean, he's the guy who writes the textbook. So if you're in Orange County, I don't know what to tell you, buddy, but if you're in LA, Riverside, San Diego, if you're watching Padre games or Dodger games or you're listening, you're going to see and hear a lot of Corky during the baseball season. Corky's Pest Control. We control pests. Call 1-800-901-1102.
Corky's.
All right.
You know who's really good at baseball?
Who dat?
Yu Darvish.
Mm-hmm.
My gosh. In person? Is that dude like 6'5"? He looks tall and lengthy in person. I've never seen Yu Darvish pitch in my life, so this is the first time I ever saw him pitch. He is tall. I think he's Browner's height. 6'4".
6'4"-ish?
Yeah, 6'4"-ish.
I know it pisses Browner off.
I think he's the acquisition of the offseason. That guy is the real deal. He's
Yeah,
so good.
I mean, he's your legitimate ace of your staff and
Mm-hmm.
has lived up to all the hype and expectations. Whereas Blake Snell is starting to a little bit, and Joe Musgrove exceeded with a no hitter, but then kind of came back down to earth. And people have been disappointed in Paddock, and then there's been injuries, and a guy like
Lamette's coming back too as well.
Yeah, Lamet. I mean, Weathers. Everybody was talking to me on the boat this weekend about how Browner says Weathers is the best pitcher on the staff. Maybe he's the best pickoff guy. Hey, one other thing about the Padres, real quick, and I'll start moving into some other stuff. I think it's a really interesting story that's going around right now about how Eric Hosmer told the media after the weekend about his opinions on vaccinations and how fans who usually, especially when your team is winning, they'll support you through anything, really. How fans were pissed on social media about Eric Hosmer, because Hosmer had a comment, and I'm paraphrasing here, but it was like, hey, look, I already had COVID and I have the antibodies, and I just feel like I need to do a lot more research about the vaccine. And people heard his admission of not being vaccinated, and they also understand that he was yanked out of a game and then missed 10 days. And I think fans feel like I know I felt, and I know I got a lot of heat for this a few weeks ago on social media when I said, hey, if you're a pro athlete and you don't get vaccinated, you're being selfish. And I will say in no uncertain terms, if Eric Hosmer doesn't get himself vaccinated and winds up missing a lot more time for some reason, or gets it again, or gives it to somebody, or maybe he himself just misses games and it's an important series. Look, I'm just saying this. You should be vaccinated if you are a member of a pro football, basketball, baseball, soccer team, whatever. If you're a pro athlete, you should be vaccinated.
If you are now, if you're at the stage we're at of this and you're a professional athlete, you have to be vaccinated, especially if you're on a team that's championship contending. Eric Hosmer could sink this team's boat for 10 days. Now, luckily, we ran into the Rockies twice, and they were able to pretty much power through a terrible roster and then follow that up by powering through Seattle, probably the worst team in baseball right now. So they were able to destroy those two teams like they should have. But what if you were playing against the White Sox or the Yankees, and you had guys out for 10 days because people like Eric Hosmer, who believes he has the antibodies but needs to do more research? Bro, there's a medical staff that works for the Padres. They've done the research. If you have any questions, how about you ask them?
Is there
I don't understand this. I don't get this. I know,
but this constant notion of fertility and infertility, and then all of how that has been apparently debunked. I just
ask the medical staff.
Is there a misunderstanding of the rules though? Are they just misunderstanding the protocols of baseball? Because it sounds like he was under the assumption, hey, I have COVID. If I maintain a certain level of antibodies, I'll be fine. That's what he made it sound like. But that's never been said, written anywhere.
Right. Anywhere.
So I don't know if there's just a basic misunderstanding of the protocols and prior COVID, tests or whatever, because he kept saying, I had the antibodies. I had a level of antibodies. So he got all pissed off because he had to miss time, but he has the antibodies. So I just don't know if there's some misunderstanding in that clubhouse with the locker rooms. Like, if you are not vaccinated, you have to abide by a certain protocol. If you are vaccinated, you get to live your life a little bit more free. It's that simple.
These people have all this money and all these resources, and they don't use them. That's what the new Brown Bag blog is about.
You know what, too?
Tequila party.
Exactly, because LeBron James is doing the same thing for the Lakers. He's putting his team, his team in danger. If he goes to another tequila party before the finals, what happens then?
Well, and the other part of it is we don't know if LeBron is or is not vaccinated. We assume he's not.
He's not.
We assume he's not.
Because he's in violation. If he was vaccinated, he wouldn't be in violation by attending that event.
This wouldn't even been a thing.
I got to tell you honestly, like the fact that the NBA, they might crack down on somebody else, but with LeBron, they look completely the other way.
Yep.
I don't even want to know about it. What? LeBron was at a tequila party? No problem. Let him do what he wants to do. He is in a totally different stratosphere when it comes to potential consequences from the league, and they don't want him to be out. I mean, they're hurting their business by if he were to miss.
It's a business decision. It's a damn the rules when it comes to business. Damn them.
Yeah. If LeBron James was named Jamison Crowder, he would not be playing in this series right now.
Out 7 to 10 days.
All right, coming up. PGA Tour star Charley Hoffman is going to be here. And if you're a longtime great friend, you know that Charley Hoffman is from Poway High School and plays on the PGA Tour, finished tied for 17th this past weekend at even par. But the thing about Charley that's so cool is he will come on today and talk to us about the story, which is Phil Mickelson. And the reason Charley's even willing to do that, Alex, as you know, and Browner, you guys get this, is, Charley's from here and Phil was kind of a mentor and they play together all the time. And, I can't wait to hear from Charley. I was wondering, and I'll ask him right away, if the event ends yesterday and both guys are flying back to San Diego, and I wonder if Charley says to Phil, hey, can I hop on your plane with you and fly back home?
Can I be half lit sipping on wine with you? That's kind of the question that I would ask him too.
Right. Because Phil was on his private jet coming home, and he was drinking wine and tweeting away and having a grand old time. So I wonder if Charley caught a ride with Phil. Yeah, like did because Charley finished earlier, and he didn't know what his final placement was going to be, but he knew he wasn't going to win at even par. Did Charley Hoffman jump on Phil Mickelson's private jet to come home? We'll find out. I'm very curious about this. Man, Phil Mickelson, 50, almost 51 years old, wins a PGA championship. We'll get to that story with Charley next.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
Kaplan and Crew tonight is brought to you by BMW San Diego, your certified BMW dealer, serving drivers throughout San Diego and the surrounding areas.
Arash Markazi here, inviting you to catch my show, The Arash Markazi Show, on the mightier 1090. We are on every Monday through Friday from noon to 1 p.m. Pacific time. Join me and producer extraordinaire G. Wiley, where we chop up Los Angeles sports and try not to piss too many people off.
The all-new and mightier 1090. Happening all month long at BMW of San Diego. Get 0.9% APR for 36 months on all in-stock 2017, 2018, and 2019 BMW certified models. BMW San Diego, Kearny Mesa Road and the 163.
Great things can be achieved when a community comes together. Join Erica Cardenas on Doing More as she introduces you to ordinary people working side by side to confront tremendous challenges and make a positive impact in their community. Watch Doing More Sunday night at 6 on YourView or stream it online at yourview.com. Doing More is brought to you in part by the San Diego Food Bank.
Don't worry, Gracie. The curtain only goes up when everyone has a part to play. Whoa, okay, I gotcha. Uh-oh, whoa, watch out for those audio cables. I'm gonna be sick. To the left! I am not going out there without Gracie.
Neither am I. A little help?
No pressure.
Happening all month long at BMW of San Diego. Get 0.9% APR for 36 months on all in-stock 2017, 2018, and 2019 BMW certified models. BMW San Diego, Kearny Mesa Road and the 163.
Time now for Kaplan and Crew tonight's Community Connect.
Step up. You know, we're breaking that stereotype of what a homeless person is, this subculture society. We're just brothers, sisters, mom, dad, grandmas, and grandpas, being part of the solution instead of part of the problem.
So, ladies and gentlemen, left-hand side.
We make sure that there's no drug dealing, drug use, encampments around their facilities, or anywhere in our neighborhood. We self-police, and that's all a testament to the folks here that used to be out there.
Watch out for sharp objects, ladies and gentlemen.
Ed's, once again, he's a perfect example of the caliber of the men and women that have been outside on the streets.
Here in San Diego for over 50 years, have worked all my life since 1975. But suddenly I had a stroke and I lost all muscle control. One of the things you never think will happen to you, but it can.
The onus of responsibility need to go to our folks like Ed, people you've seen here that have tremendous skill, and give them the opportunity to shine. It's that peer-to-peer support, talking to the folks out there and bringing folks in here to start the process.
Let's go.
We are in the hope business. What we do every day And what we've done for 40 years is to provide kids and families going through critical illnesses hope that tomorrow's going to be a better day. My favorite wish is the next one, because that is the power of our organization, is to bring hope to kids who are going through something right now, and hope can't wait. So people can get involved now by donating resources. They can donate in kind. They can donate their time as volunteers. They can donate dollars, because kids are still getting diagnosed with illnesses that qualify for Make-A-Wish every day. So people can visit us online at sandiego.wish.org. They can visit us and follow us on social media. There are so many ways to get connected, and people can help in many, many different ways. We need your support now more than ever, because illness doesn't take a vacation and it doesn't take a break because of COVID-19.
Kaplan and Crew tonight's Community Connect is fueled by the Mightier 1090.
Pete Gray here, inviting you to catch my show, Let's Talk Hookup, every Saturday and Sunday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific Time. For over 30 years, we've been the voice of the fishing community for Southern California, and so glad to be back on the big stick.
The all-new and mightier 1090.
Adios, love handles.
Adios, couch.
Adios, Quarantine 15.
Say adios to the quarantine bod with Pollo Fit Bowls, made with fire-grilled chicken and organic super greens from El Pollo Loco.
Moore's Cancer Center is the only comprehensive cancer center in San Diego, which has NCI designation, which NCI stands for National Cancer Institute. And this is designated to only the highest possible ratings for cancer centers in the country. And that means that it's experts in every medical subspecialty pushing boundaries for difficult to treat cancers. We have a unique blend of cancer research and patient care, which really helps us take care of the whole patient from bench to bedside interventions with the latest research, and we're really pushing the boundaries to treat each individual cancer as much as possible. We're very proud of our leadership here in the community at UCSD.
We have a term for typical cheese-filled, grease-covered, regret-inducing takeout. That's why dinner from El Pollo Loco is always fire-grilled, freshly prepared, feel-good food. The $20 Familia Dinner from El Pollo Loco.
Kaplan and Crew tonight presents Sports in a Minute.
The San Diego section girls wrestling championships were this past weekend. Brawley High claimed another team title with 161 total points, with Mira Mesa coming in second with 103 points. Ariana Gonzalez got the win at 113 pounds, while Savannah Gomez won at 145, paving the way for the Wildcats' win. Gomez recently qualified for the national team at the cadet team trials in Irvine, Texas. It took the senior 20 seconds to pin Olympians Eileen Gomez in the final. Valley Center seniors and twin sisters Savannah and Sierra Mefford both took home titles, with Savannah at 162 and Sierra at 172. San Diego was the only section to get in the girls wrestling section championships. I'm Haley Stasiak. That's your Sports in a Minute. Now back to more Kaplan and Crew tonight.
I've been a part of this community for a long time, and giving back is what we do. That's why I'm so excited to tell you about the San Diego Giving Back Raffle, a benefit for Ronald McDonald House Charities of San Diego. Grand prize is this $4 million luxury home, or you could win a car, vacation, or cash. Everyone is guaranteed to win a prize. And you'll feel good knowing your raffle purchase goes to help families like the Lechugas. Get your tickets now for the San Diego Giving Back Raffle.
From fitness to medical technology, explore how people are leading healthier lives on Your Health. Join Erica Cardenas as she introduces you to health experts and discover how our daily choices affect our well-being. Plus, learn simple tips for healthier living. Your Health, Sunday at 4:30 p.m. on YourView and YourView.com. Brought to you by La Mesa Rehab, improving the lives of those afflicted by chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Learn more at LaMesaRehab.com.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 in your view, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
All right, everybody. We are talking to Charley Hoffman here today on Kaplan and Crew. We welcome you back inside the 7 Mile Casino Studios. Charley has, and I'm going to say this, kind of very quietly had himself one really great year on the PGA Tour so far, and finished -1 yesterday, finished even for the PGA Championship. And so here to discuss his round, his weekend, but really the story around the PGA Championship this weekend, San Diego's own PGA Tour star, Charley Hoffman, is back. Hey, Charley.
How's it going, guys? Great to be back on the show.
Yeah, man. Thanks for doing this. How did you look like you're home already. So yeah. Just tell me how that all works from yesterday when you're done to how you get home. And I mean, it just seems like it all happens real fast.
This was probably actually a good story that you're going to lead into this. So I teed off at 12:50 Eastern time, and there was a Southwest flight at 6:50. So if you do the math, there's not much time in between there. I got off the golf course, at probably around 5:30ish, and I had about an hour drive to the airport. And I got to the airport with about 18 minutes to spare before the flight left, and walked straight through the gate. I'm actually playing this week in Fort Worth at the Colonial Charles Schwab Challenge. But so my clubs I sent with a group of people. I just had a backpack, came home, put to see his kids go to school the next couple of days, and then I'll fly back to Dallas. But the turnaround was fairly quick. There's a side of me wishing I would have stayed and watched that epic moment in golf history, to be completely honest with you. The only blessing in disguise was I was on Southwest and I was able to stream it while I was sitting on the plane waiting to take off. And I'm getting chills talking about it right now. I mean, that's I know we'll get to that, but that was something that was extraordinary, a feat that probably will never be done again. And it's just something really, really cool, because I know Phil talked about how hard he's worked and how he's gotten zero results in the last 2 years. And to see him do that in a time where he's probably as low as he's ever been in his golf game, to just really own the week, own the moment, thrive in the moment. And that's just what makes Phil Mickelson one of the greatest golfers to ever play the game.
We're talking to Charley Hoffman this afternoon here on Kaplan and Crew, along with Grande and the Brown Man. We're in the 7 Mile Casino Studios. Charley, let's jump right into it. So at that stage of the game, you're watching it like we're all watching it. What part of the story do you even begin with? Is it Phil and his age? Is it the fact that Phil didn't crumble at all and none of the young guys came and took it from him? Or maybe it's the way the crowd responded. I said earlier, I've seen Tiger walk down a fairway and have people behind him, but never on top of him, touching him like that. The way the crowd responded to Phil, or lefty. And again, the third part of it for me would be, besides his age or the way he's received, but to what you said, his game was not such that he created a threat. I think Vegas had him at 200-1. So I'm just curious, of those three things, or maybe you have something different, what's the story for you?
The story is, I think, I don't know how at the end of the week, analytics like baseball is in golf now. The strokes gained, the efficiency off the tee for Phil, which has never been his MO throughout any part of his career, even when he was a dominant player. On a golf course that was fairly demanding off the tee, with crosswinds and winds that you couldn't get sideways, which I think helped Phil, to be completely honest. It helped him sort of focus, it helped him hit a lot of, I assume it talked about the 2-wood he hit. He probably hit that 2-wood more than he hit his hellacious bombs, or whatever he wants to call them. I mean, there you saw a few of those coming down the stretch, but the wind was right for that. But he game planned unbelievable, and it was a lot like the British Open he won. No one thought he was going to win that British Open, but he beat everybody with pretty much a 3-wood off the tee. And I think people don't realize that when it's more demanding, Phil's actually better because it's like a horse with blinders on. He's got focus on only one area and where he has to hit it, and he executes great. And sometimes when those blinders are off, he's not quite as good when he tries to tinker with his golf swing and hit it really far. So am I surprised? 100%. I think if you ask Phil, I think Phil is somewhat surprised that this happened, but he knows, and I know because I'm around here in San Diego, watch how much work he's put into it. So the belief was there that he could do it, but the results weren't. And I think that's was one of his quotes. But I didn't know what to expect if he was going to crumble or not. But he won that golf tournament. Everybody else sort of went by the wayside. That golf course was really, really hard. Obviously, I think 6 under par ended up winning that golf tournament, and it was just a hard golf course. And if you got out of position, it was very hard to make a par or even bogey at some points in the game. But he did everything he needed to do. He made the putts, he hit the fairways, he hit the greens, he had not that many loose shots whatsoever I saw. But it was obviously I just saw the last couple of holes because I was out there playing too. I mean, I was hoping to go on some sort of run, but there was never any run to have out there. It just wasn't a golf course that led itself to runs. It was actually a golf course that you could run the wrong direction. That's what you saw a lot of guys do. And Phil didn't do that. He maintained.
Charley Hoffman is a PGA Tour player. He's from Poway. He finished 17th yesterday in the PGA Championship at even par. And Charlie, I'm with you. You know, to me, I've seen Phil around town. And I say it like that. You know, I've seen him at a couple of different golf courses. I know he likes to get out there and play with some friends, you know, gamble a little bit, likes to drink his expensive red wine after the round. Like, I've just envisioned him as being a guy now at 50 years old that plays because he still can, because he's got commitments to sponsors. I mean, I just didn't think of him as a guy at this stage of his career that still had a burning passion to win, per se. And that's just a perception. You've said all along, you're wrong. He actually does train to win. He looks great. He looks better than ever before. Do you think he went there this week saying, my game's in tune, I can win? Or did this just kind of happen over 4 rounds of golf?
The rumors I heard, like the last week, I didn't play with him last week when I was home for a couple of weeks, but I didn't touch a club. But there were, we'll say, games of the local guys going on, and everybody said Phil's playing much better. Now, that being said, that doesn't always carry over to the next week in a major championship, but everybody's like, Phil's playing good. He shot 8 under over here at the Farms. He played great. I mean, everybody's like, his game's trending in the right direction. Now, like I said, that doesn't mean you're going to win a major championship by any means, but there was a point in time where his game wasn't trending, but Phil is not scared to take a couple steps back to go forward. And I think everything he's been doing training wise, trying to hit it further, is great. But I think he finally realized, all right, on 3 holes this week, I can go hit that driver as hard as I can over these bunkers and be able to hit. But the other 13 or whatever X amount of holes that I'm hitting, I might hit this 2-wood or an iron off the tee and get in position. I think he game planned unbelievable, obviously, and he executed even better. So Phil's very smart, very strategic. He loves, I heard him talk a little bit about how many holes he likes to play. A lot of holes of golf when he's home on his off weeks, and I was to train his mind in intense situations. At the end of the day, if you play 36 holes or X amount of holes, so he's sharp at the end of a golf tournament, which I found very intriguing. It's not something I've ever really thought about. I usually, when I'm home, I'm trying to rest my brain because I work so hard the weeks I'm on the road. But it was intriguing to hear him say that even when he's home, he's trying to train his mind, train his game is at the top level, so he's ready once he gets out there. And it just shows that guy's always on the quest to get better, and he doesn't leave any stone unturned when it comes to the game of golf on shafts, drivers, anything. And I mean, it's amazing for him to go out and I could say dominate that golf course the way he did and win that PGA Championship.
All right, let me ask you this. We're talking to Charley Hoffman this afternoon. Charley finished tied for 17th at the PGA Championship, but being from San Diego and Phil being from San Diego and the U.S. Open being here next month, I mean, this becomes a huge story. Tell me if you think this is corny, okay? But I'll ask it to you this way. Do you draw any inspiration? Everything you just talked about, no stone unturned, the way he practices, the way he tries to prepare his mind, do you draw any inspiration from a guy winning a major championship at nearly 51 years old? The age factor.
Oh, I tremendous inspiration. I'm 44 and I'm thinking, well, I still know I got it. And I still know I can play and compete with these guys when I'm healthy. That's another thing. Phil's never been, when it says injury wise, never really had any injury, which usually when someone his age holds him back. The guy's as fit as he ever has been, as strong as he ever has been. And he's trying to get better day in and day out. And I take total inspiration. I would argue that I'm trying just as hard as I ever have to be in good shape, to hit the ball further. And I think there's a lot to say about that from what I've learned from Phil. His intensity during a match that we're playing at Rancho Santa Fe or anywhere in town is, I know he's trying just as hard to beat me on that day as he does to try to win a major championship. And that's why when you see him in contention coming down the stretch, he succeeds because he trains efficiently and effectively when he's off to be prepared when he's on the road.
It's interesting. I've heard you mention the Farms and the Rancho Santa Fe Country Club. I'll throw in there the Bridges and the Madison Club. And for all these guys that I know that, I'm fortunate enough to know these people and play golf with these people at their club where I'm a guest, to see Phil at these places. Like, I'm telling you, even this morning, people are calling me like, dude, that's a hometown win for us. Like, they feel like they're club members and they see Phil around. They see Phil in the locker room. They have wine with Phil, maybe they played with Phil or gambled with Phil. They feel like this is their championship, which I think is super cool.
Yeah. He plays all around town. Literally every day of the week when he has off week, he's trying to play something if he doesn't have some sort of obligation. But last week he's like, let's go play over here. Let's go play. And I was, like I said, I was just taking some time off and hang out with the family and wasn't doing much. And he was playing virtually every week. I went out and practiced a little bit and he was at the Grand one day. And then I think he went to La Jolla and then he was at the Farms. And then, like you said, he bounced around everywhere. And he's cordial to everybody. Now, when he's out there, he doesn't really want to be bothered by people following but he's very, very cordial to all the members, and all the members respect him because he's out there so much, and they know if they don't bother him too much, he'll come out more and everybody can experience what Phil does and brings to the golf club. And obviously it's not only a hometown win. This is one for the ages that, it inspired anybody and everybody that loves the game of golf. And I could almost say it's more inspirational than the Tiger comeback at the Tour Championship. Tiger is the greatest probably to ever play the game, but I promise you, he's probably never going to win a major at 50 years old. And that's something that I don't think anybody's going to do, especially with the game of golf. You look, the age is getting younger. The average tour pro is dropped 2 or 3 years in the last 10 to 15. And so it's just to have that sustainability that Phil Mickelson's had on the PGA Tour is unreal. And and what he's given back to the younger guys, he loves mentoring the younger guys, playing with the younger guys and giving knowledge to anybody and everybody that wants to know anything from him when he's playing practice round with the guys, gambling with the guys. He gives back to the game more than his golf game gives back to the game of golf.
Amazing. Talking to Charley Hoffman, he finished 17th. He was even for the tournament. Made a couple of bucks this past weekend too. Okay. And
your favorite subject. You love talking about the money.
I do.
Only a matter of time till it came up.
Well, Phil made 2.16 yesterday, and I can see here, everybody can see the scoreboard here. You made 168 grand. Hey, it's a nice payday for a weekend. It's a real nice payday. Charley Hoffman is here on Kaplan and Crew with Grande and the Brown Man. Big Brown, I see you wanting to get in here.
Hey, Charlie, so when you see what happened at the end of that turn with all those people behind him like that, how does golf repeat that every event? How do they keep that energy? Because I know Phil Mickelson is such a large name within the sport, and so when he does something, a lot of buzz and a lot of energy goes with it. But let's say that's you in that particular situation. How do we get that many people behind you?
Did that just happen, or was that?
Is that organic?
Right. Is that something that happens at that golf course all the time? I've never seen anything ever like that.
My first thing is safety. I there's a little unsafe for my
I agree,
but it COVID what? That's over.
That's a different story. But,
that's a different conversation, a different time. I would like to have seen it a little more under control. I love the scene. Hold on, sorry.
That's
I love
don't
the
worry.
scene.
I know Charlie's phone is ringing, so
Yeah,
he's getting a call.
yeah. Sorry, the
That's okay.
scene was
Phil
unreal.
wants to play right now.
Yeah, Phil's
Calling him right
calling.
now.
Phil's
Yeah.
calling. He wants to play. Phil's like, Charlie, I just made 2.16 yesterday. You want to go out and play some golf? We'll gamble a little bit.
Yeah. So organically, yes, it happens. Some of those major championships, if there's room, there'll be volunteers with a rope that let them come down the fairway accordingly. Now, obviously, that rope fell or something happened that didn't hold that. Obviously, if you got limited fans charging those ropes, the rope's not going to do anything. We don't have enough security out there. That being said, Brooks got trapped a lot more than Phil did back there, which was unfortunate. And the reality is, it's something I think we would try to do on a regular basis, but it's hard to maintain. They show that it's hard to maintain when you let those fans start running down the fairway like they did. And it's more of a danger thing than anything else. I'll be the first one to, it was amazing to watch as a golf fan, as a professional golfer. From security wise, I don't think that's something we want to try to do every single week.
Because I saw something over the weekend too. It was a black and white video of somebody winning the tournament and a bunch of people diving for the hole to get the ball. And I'm like, wait, that was a thing at once? They need to bring that back.
I didn't see that.
That's what we need.
Yeah, this day and age with security, I'm not saying it wouldn't be fun or entertaining to watch, but security it's a different world, and I think people are a little more aggressive than they were back in the day, I guess.
Yeah, I thought there was going to be like a big fight breakout. It looked like at one point there was kind of like a scuffle, and somebody had like a hold of Phil. He had to like grab his arm. Yeah. It was crazy. All right, we're talking to Charley Hoffman here this afternoon.
You also saw what Brooks did too, or what Brooks said. He said he felt as if there was a possibility that someone actually tried to hit his repaired surgical knee.
I did hear that via social media. I don't know how accurate that. Brooks isn't a guy to make things up. As far as I know, Brooks, someone could have ran into it, but that's the security side. So the people, I mean, you got, I don't know how many thousands of people jostling for position, and you got a guy trying to get through them. Someone's going to bang knees and bang legs, which that's the security side. I'd love to have seen that a little more under control, but I love the scene anyways. But obviously you don't want to hurt a major star, any of our stars coming down the stretch just because of a little bit of a gallery issue.
Was that the first one that had like that many fans? First tournament since COVID?
I would say that's the biggest fans we've had since COVID. Yeah. Which, to be completely honest, it was throughout. I mean, I've always said we could have more fans. We're on X amount of acres of acreage out there. There's plenty of room to roam. I'm in the belief of, if you buy a ticket to a sporting event, you know what you're going to acquire. You can wear a mask if you want to wear a mask. You don't have to wear a mask if you don't want to. You want to high five somebody, you can. I'm personally not high five. I'm vaccinated, but I'm not personally high fiving anybody right now because there's still a chance that something could happen, which is unfortunate. Until I love the energy of the fan, giving them high fives, fist bumps. I love signing autographs, but it's a little early for my liking. So it's a little bit early for that scene to go down, but it'll be a historic scene, and no one will even remember COVID happened when those pictures are on the walls and those videos come back.
Hey, Charlie, we got just about 2 minutes left here, but I am curious now. We've talked in the past about how you qualify for the Masters. The U.S. Open is a month away at Torrey Pines. Excuse me for not knowing all the details.
I'm not in yet.
Okay, yet. Right. What is it going to take to get you into the U.S. Open? What happens between now and then?
I got 2 more weeks. I'm 60. I just looked this morning. I'm 69th in the world. I got to be in the top 60 in the world. I've got to probably finish in the next 2 weeks, 1 week of a top 10, a top 5-ish to get in the top 60. If that doesn't happen, there's a qualifier the week after Memorial in Ohio that will say 100 and something guys try to go, and they probably take 16 to 18 guys from that spot, which I've done before. I've missed a lot more than I've made, but so I've got a few different avenues to be able to get into Torrey Pines, which is obviously a major goal of mine. Is something that's first and foremost on my mind. It was on my mind coming down the 18th hole. It wasn't anything. I mean, I was trying to win the PGA Championship, but I was trying to make birdies to get in the U.S. Open, and it was on my mind. I wanted to finish in the top 5, and pretty much would have guaranteed me to get in that U.S. Open. I wasn't able to do that. I made an eagle on 16, putting myself in a prime spot, but unfortunately hit a good shot on the 17, just bound over the green into some bushes and made a bogey. But that's a focus of mine. So I got 2 more weeks to play good golf. As I said, if I just keep doing what I'm doing, I'm gonna be in that championship at Torrey Pines and represent the people here in San Diego as well as I can.
Dude, that is awesome. I am so glad to hear you talk about that and talk about how much it's important to you to play. Charlie, go get him this weekend. Looking forward to watching what you do over the next few weeks to try and get into the U.S. Open. Congratulations on your finish at the PGA Championship. And thanks for talking to us about this amazing, hyper-local, while international story. Always appreciate your time, man. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
Charlie Hoffman, unbelievable. Really appreciate that conversation because, some guys are like, why are you calling me to talk about something else? The thing about Charlie is he's local. He's a great friend. He's been part of the show for a really long time, and he understands the magnitude of the story. And that was really, really great. Okay, we're coming back with more. He is. He's like our own in-house golf analyst, but he's still playing. He's still active. Yeah. I love it. It really is great. All right, we're coming right back to the 7 Mile Casino studios, so don't go anywhere. I got a lot more that I want to get into, including I got to talk about the big fishing trip this past weekend. Hang around, everybody.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
Kaplan and Crew tonight is brought to you by BMW San Diego, your certified BMW dealer, serving drivers throughout San Diego and the surrounding areas.
Catch Kaplan and Crew Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. If you've listened to Scott Kaplan the last 20 years, you know one thing. He likes to stir up some A new generation of radio. The all-new and mightier 1090. Happening all month long at BMW of San Diego. Get 0.9% APR for 36 months on all in-stock 2017, 2018, and 2019 BMW certified models. BMW San Diego, Kearny Mesa Road and the 163.
Great things can be achieved when a community comes together. Join Erica Cardenas on Doing More as she introduces you to ordinary people working side by side to confront tremendous challenges and make a positive impact in their community. Watch Doing More Sunday night at 6 on YourView or stream it online at yourview.com. Brought to you by Subaru of El Cajon, an extraordinary experience for everyone.
I've been a part of this community for a long time, and giving back is what we do. That's why I'm so excited to tell you about the San Diego Giving Back Raffle, a benefit for Ronald McDonald House Charities of San Diego. Grand prize is this $4 million luxury home, or you could win a car, vacation, or cash. Everyone is guaranteed to win a prize. And you'll feel good knowing your raffle purchase goes to help families like the Lechugas. Get your tickets now for the San Diego Giving Back Raffle.
Happening all month long at BMW of San Diego. Get 0.9% APR for 36 months on all in-stock 2017, 2018, and 2019 BMW certified models. BMW San Diego, Kearny Mesa Road and the 163.
Here's Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout with Haley Stasiak.
UC Irvine Baseball got the series win against CSU Bakersfield, and now they are 1 win away from clinching the Big West title. The Eaters jumped 3 spots in the national rankings and now sit at number 17 in the D1 Baseball Top 25 heading into the final week of the regular season. Freshman pitcher Nick Pinto earned his second Big West Pitcher of the Week honor after a 10-strikeout performance against the Roadrunners, while junior outfielder Mike Peabody earned his second career Big West Field Player of the Week award. Peabody had a .556 average in the 4-game set against CSU Bakersfield, going 10 for 18 on the weekend. This is the second time this season that the Eaters have swept the Big West Weekly Awards. UC Irvine wraps up the regular season this weekend against Cal State Fullerton. That's your 60-second timeout. Now back to more Kaplan and Crew tonight.
Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout is presented by Your View.
Rich Eisen here, inviting you to catch my show, The Rich Eisen Show, on our flagship radio station, the Mightier 1090. We're on every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to noon Pacific time. You'll like what you hear. If not, that's just, I guess, too bad.
A new generation of radio. The all-new and mightier 1090.
Great things can be achieved when a community comes together. Join Erica Cardenas on Doing More as she introduces you to ordinary people working side by side to confront tremendous challenges and make a positive impact in their community. Watch Doing More Sunday night at 6 on YourView or stream it online at yourview.com. Ronald McDonald House Charities of San Diego keeps families close to their hospitalized child. Stop by your local McDonald's today to make a donation or visit redshoedaysd.com.
The Olympic Games, where the world's best athletes will compete on the most prestigious stage. Catch all the action leading up to the Olympic Games on Guide to the Games every Tuesday on Your View. The series examines the qualification process, the history of the games, and the teams and athletes that are expected to shine, plus information about the rules, events, and competitors. Don't miss Guide to the Games, Tuesdays on Your View.
Great things can be achieved when a community comes together. Join Erica Cardenas on Doing More as she introduces you to ordinary people working side by side to confront tremendous challenges and make a positive impact in their community. Watch Doing More Sunday night at 6 on Your View or stream it online at yourview.com. Sponsored by The Barnes Firm, partnering with Shelter to Soldier and saving lives 2 at a time. Visit thebarnesfirm.com/shelter to soldier and help save more lives. Let's take it up a notch with Kaplan and Crew tonight's Premium Boost, powered by the Mightier 1090.
Welcome to the Jacobs & Cushman San Diego Food Bank and our 90,000 square foot facility. We feed 350,000 people every single month. Many people ask, how can I help? You can volunteer for the San Diego Food Bank. Just go to sandiegofoodbank.org, register to volunteer. No group is too small, no group is too large, but those volunteers are integral to our success in feeding the community. Another way you can help is by hosting a food drive. Just go online and register your group, your company, or organization. It's that easy. Another great way is through our virtual food drive, where you can literally buy food on our behalf. Lastly, another great way to make an impact is to go online and make a financial contribution to the San Diego or North County Food Bank. On behalf of the San Diego Food Bank, our staff, our volunteers, and the 350,000 people we serve every month, thank you for helping us fight hunger and feed hope in San Diego County.
Casa de Amparo has been around since 1978, and now we're in the Twin Oaks Valley in San Marcos with a beautiful campus. We work with children and families who've experienced chronic trauma over their lifetime, and we're here to help heal that.
I always told myself, seeing that my mother passed away through domestic violence, that I would never put myself in that position. And if it ever happened, I would leave. But it's easier said than done.
These are foster youth who are not able to manage in a foster home environment. My husband and I have been a part of the San Marcos community in our businesses since 1993.
One of the beautiful things about Kayleen, she started here at Casa de Amparo years ago when we were at the shelter with a church group.
How can we best give back is to volunteer our time.
Because without donors like Bassett, we would not be able to provide the services we provide.
Kaplan and Crew tonight's Premium Boost is powered by the Mightier 1090. Kaplan and Crew tonight is brought to you by BMW San Diego, your certified BMW dealer, serving drivers throughout San Diego and the surrounding areas. From fitness to medical technology, explore how people are leading healthier lives on Your Health. Join Erica Cardenas as she introduces you to health experts and discover how our daily choices affect our well-being. Plus, learn simple tips for a healthier living. Your Health, Sunday at 4:30 p.m. on YourView and yourview.com. Only at Stanton Optical can you get same-day eye exams that test your vision and eye health for under $50. Stop by or call us at 1-800-STANTON. Eye exams are provided by independent eye care doctors.
Don't worry, Gracie. The curtain only goes up when everyone has a part to play.
Whoa,
Okay, I gotcha. Uh-oh, whoa, watch out for those audio cables.
I'm gonna be sick.
To the left! I am not going out there without Gracie.
Neither am I. A little help?
No pressure.
Thank you for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.